afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrew Lapin. I graduated from university in 2011, having spent most of my previous 4 years in this room. I was a senior arts editor at the Daily and a summer editor-in-chief, and I'm honored to be here today to introduce a new annual gift, the Kavi Shekhar Pandey Arts Writing Scholarship. I'd like to tell you a bit about the man that the Daily called Kavi and his family called Shekhar. From the mythical faraway land of Houghton, Michigan, a place that he once described as a place with more bears than brown people, Kavi descended from lion armor, and he entered the Industrial Operations and Engineering program as part of the class of 2012. He joined the Daily in 2009 as a film writer, and from there ascended to film editor, TV new media columnist, and senior arts editor. The student could write anything. I'm telling you, over 3 years, he wrote countless kinds of stories for the Daily. He had his incredibly witty and insightful film reviews and columns, but he also wrote profiles of his favorite Ann Arbor institutions, including Vault of Midnight and Pinball Pete's. Is the Pinball Pete's story up there? It's not, but you know where you can find it is in Pinball Pete's, because they have framed it, and this article ran 5 years ago and it's still there today. He also wrote deeply reported features for The Statement about the Indian American Student Association and the end of Michigan's film tax incentive. He was also a star player in the Daily's annual football game victories against the State News. More than all of that, Kavi was the coolest, smartest, most beloved guy in the newsroom. He was everyone's friend. I do not say that lightly. Literally everyone loved him. He had so much love and warmth to give every single person who came through this room. You were guaranteed to feel better about life after having spent some time around him. You could feel this passion in his writing. He had a deep love of Bollywood and Indiana Jones and the Black Keys and Arrested Development. But more than that, he simply had a love for being here and living life. Kavi graduated in 2012. He worked in New York as a systems integration analyst for Accenture. On the side, he was tirelessly pursuing his longtime dream of becoming a screenwriter. He also played a lot of pinball and sang a lot of karaoke. I can attest to that. Kavi remained close with his crew from the Daily, and he would be the first one to welcome any of us whenever we would come to Brooklyn to visit him. On March 25th, 2016, Kavi suffered cardiac arrest and died peacefully in his sleep in his apartment in New York. He was 26 years old. In the weeks of mourning that followed, we collectively, my friends at the Daily and myself, as well as his many other friends and family from Houghton and New York and around the country and the world, we were all looking to channel our energies into something positive, something that would help his legacy live on in some way that would have been meaningful to him. And so what could have been more meaningful than helping future arts writers find their voice through this special place that meant so much to him. So with the help of the Board of Student Publications, we were able to launch a fundraising campaign for a scholarship in his name. I don't know if you guys know how the campaigns work, but you have to raise a $10,000 minimum first, and then the board takes on the fundraising for the rest of it. And so the Pandey family, they're here today. Incredibly generously, they contributed half of the $10,000 goal. We went online and we raised the other half in a matter of days, which I have to think is some kind of daily record. I hope someone can confirm that. But we were very excited. And a little over 1 year ago today, we had enough to formally announce the creation of this wonderful scholarship, which will be awarded every year to an arts writer who best exemplifies Kavi's passion for writing, his love of culture, and his spirit of generosity. And I think the best way to tell you how much this means is to tell you in his own words. So I'm going to read to you a little bit of Kavi's final column as a TV new media columnist here. I'll give a little bit of context. He was talking about how he did not like to watch the ends of his favorite TV shows when he knew they were about to end. And so he would deliberately refrain from watching the final episodes of his favorite shows. So he wrote, "Saying goodbye is the worst. Everything inevitably comes to an end. But once you utter that vile word, you actually have to accept the fact that it's all over, be it precious time spent with a friend or a significant chapter of your life. It's grim to admit the end of an era, but clinging to the strands of the past accomplishes nothing. College is going to end, and I'm going to have to leave all my friends. So when I go home for Christmas, I'll start saying goodbye to Lost, Outsourced, and Arrested Development for now. This is my final paragraph as a Michigan Daily columnist. I'm glad you didn't pull a pre-revelation Kavi, Shekhar, Pandey and save this piece of impeccable prose for eternity. Thanks for reading until the end. So today, the Pandey family and I are so happy to be able to present this first edition of the scholarship to a member of the University of Michigan class of 2018 and the Daily's book review editor and gender and media columnist, Kavi.